Special report. FIFA bids to clean up Wild West culture among agents. On at least 10 occasions in recent years, an individual football agent has been paid at least £10 million for his role in moving a player between one European club and another, a Mail on Sunday investigation has found, with £5 million plus commissions twice as common. In some instances, multiple agents have been paid for their parts in the same deal by one or both clubs and the player, with a Wild West culture pervasive among some middlemen. FIFA, however, are bringing in radical new regulations to stop rampant profiteering by greedy intermediaries, although this will lead, it seems, to agents en masse waging war on the global governing body. 5 of the £10 million plus deals are examined in case studies in these pages, while others include Emerken's move from Liverpool to Juventus in 2018, Hirving Lozano's move from PSV Eindhoven to Napoli in 2019, and Frenkie de Jong's transfer from Ajax to Barcelona the same year. In one case in 2018, the agent of a player moving from a club in France's Ligue 1 to Germany's Bundesliga earned a £16 million commission on a £20 million transfer, while his client's guaranteed wage for the entirety of his 5-year contract was £14 million over 5 years. As things stand, there are no limits to what agents can be paid and no regulation of middlemen. This has been the case since FIFA scrapped agent regulation in 2015, a move that everybody within the world governing body now accepts as one insider says, a terrible mistake. While FIFA president Gianni Infantino has been criticized for some of his activities since succeeding Sepp Blatter in 2016, his reform agenda around the transfer market, ongoing since 2017, is underpinned by a desire for greater fairness and wealth redistribution. A raft of reforms has already passed through 3 stages of FIFA Council approval. The headline changes, which have met with fierce opposition from agents, will involve capping any agent's fees at 10% of any transfer fee paid by the selling club and 3% of a player's wages for contract negotiations. Agents will be prohibited from working for 2 clubs in the same deal. All agents will have their names and contact details listed in a publicly accessible database. Where data protection laws allow, all transactions will be made public, even if specific sums are not published. From a redistributive point of view, every single international transfer will have to pass through an independent clearing house, as will all monies involved, and 5% of all deals will trickle down to the clubs who develop the players involved in the first place. As Infantino reiterated at a workshop last month, using figures from 2019, the global spend on transfers that year was around £5.5 billion, while agents' fees the same year totaled around £550 million, and compensation to training clubs was around 1/10 of that, at about £55 million. With a 5% levy taken at the clearing house stage, FIFA's intention is that training clubs will earn more than £300 million a year, as some of the most excessive agents' fees are cut. FIFA know they face a fight with the biggest beasts of the agency world, including Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola and Cristiano Ronaldo's super agent, Jorge Mendes. As Mel Stein, the president of the Association of Football Agents, writes in these pages, his association of hundreds of middlemen are implacably opposed to caps on agents' fees. Stein dismisses the current draft of FIFA's proposals as completely unacceptable, adding, "The notion of capping agents' fees at a specific level or percentage is ridiculous and uncompetitive. If an agent is helping a club to sell or buy a player and all parties are happy to freely bargain on the commission, what is wrong with that?" Stein also ridicules the suggestion of an international clearing house for transfers, saying, "The FA in England has a clearing house for transfers, and it's not exactly efficient, so why do you think a global clearing house will be better? It's a joke." FIFA's timetable is understood to involve finishing their consultation process with leagues, clubs, unions, and agents early next year, then ratification of the new transfer system by the FIFA Council in the spring. The new system is then expected to come into force before the end of next year. The sums involved in transfers are eye-watering, with clubs globally spending £36 billion on players between 2011 and 2020, and agents pocketing almost £3 billion from those deals. That is solely in relation to international, cross-border transfers. In the same time span, payments to training clubs barely moved from around £30 million in 2011 to roughly the same in 2020, as agents' fees grew from around £100 million in 2011 to more than £500 million in 2020. In the Premier League in the past 5 years alone, clubs have made payments to agents totaling £1.181 billion. This includes commissions paid for domestic transfers and contract renewals. The panel on the left gives the annual breakdown. If Mino Raiola's commissions of almost £42 million for his role in the £89.3 million transfer of Pogba from Juventus to Manchester United is the most egregious example of agent profiteering, it is far from the only one. Stein is adamant that his association's members will oppose FIFA's reforms, but FIFA insiders are confident the law will ultimately be on their side. Around 80% of all agents' fees globally are paid by clubs in 6 European nations. England, Germany, Italy, Spain, France and Portugal and FIFA already have tacit approval for their plans from the European Parliament and the Council of Europe. An EU policy report adopted last month by the European Parliament accepted the need to regulate the activities of agents and the importance of the establishment of a clearing house, licensing requirements for agents and caps on agents' commissions. A Council of Europe report earlier this month called on member states to recognize FIFA's competence to regulate at global level the transfer system, including the adoption of rules seeking to ensure protection of minors, the transparency of financial flows linked to transfers, and a sound framework for the access to and exercise of the profession of agent or intermediary. Cristiano Ronaldo transfer. Real Madrid to Juventus, July 2018 transfer fee. £88.4 million. Contract. 4-year deal. Guaranteed minimum £51.9 million a year agent. Jorge Mendes fee for working for Juventus. £10.6 million. Jorge Mendes has been one of the most high-profile agents in global football for more than a decade, brokering deals worth close to £2 billion. The 55-year-old's clients include Jose Mourinho, David De Gea, Diego Costa, James Rodriguez and João Felix. When Felix moved from Benfica to Atletico Madrid in 2019, Mendes pocketed £10.75 million commission from Benfica, or more than 2.5 years' worth of the player's guaranteed salary at Atletico. Felipe Coutinho transfer. Liverpool to Barcelona, January 2018 transfer fee. £141.86 million. Contract. 4.5-year deal, guaranteed minimum £18.96 million a year agent. Kia Joorabchian fee for working for Liverpool. £10.64 million. Football Association ledgers show that Liverpool made 2 agent payments for Coutinho transactions between February 2017 and January 2018, including the one to Joorabchian in relation to his move to Barcelona. The other payment, for an undisclosed sum, was to Joorabchian's business partner Nojan Bedrid. It isn't known if Barca also paid agents involved in the deal. Joorabchian's other clients include Sergio Reguilon and Willian, and in the past, infamously, Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano. Christian Pulisic transfer, Dortmund to Chelsea, January 2019 transfer fee, £57.4 million contract, 4.5-year deal, guaranteed minimum £15.85 million a year agent. Rob Moore fee for working for Dortmund, £10.3 million. Rob Moore is a 58-year-old South African football consultant who has helped more than a dozen young players from the USA find clubs in Europe, including finding a berth for a 16-year-old Pulisic at Dortmund's academy in 2015. He also helped the player's family, who consider him a friend, get Pulisic a Croatian passport to help him join. Moore's London-based firm, On Target Football Consultants Limited, was dissolved following liquidation last month. Gareth Bale transfer, September 2013 Tottenham to Real Madrid transfer fee, £80.84 million contract, 6-year deal, guaranteed minimum £9.35 million a year agent. David Manasseh fee for working for Real Madrid, £13.97 million. David Manasseh is managing director of the Stellar Player Agency, where fellow British big-time agent Jonathan Barnett is also a key figure. Stellar was sold to the giant US agency ICM last year. Their clients include Jack Grealish, Luke Shaw, Ben Chilwell, James Ward-Prowse, Kieran Tierney and Jordan Pickford, as well as arguably their biggest star, Bale. Manasseh was banned from acting as an agent for 3 months in 2018 and fined £50,000 by the FA after entering into a contract with a player under 16. Paul Pogba transfer, Juventus to Manchester United, August 2016 transfer fee, £89.3 million contract, 5-year deal, minimum guaranteed £12 million a year agent. Mino Raiola fee from Juventus, £21.92 million fee from Man United, £17.86 million fee from Pogba, £2.11 million total agents fee, £41.89 million under new rules that would be a maximum of £8.9 million. Mino Raiola is a 54-year-old former youth footballer, born in Italy and raised in the Netherlands. The son of a restaurateur, he worked as a waiter and played for HFC Haarlem Juniors until 18, then became an administrator and finally an agent. His clients include Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Erling Haaland, Marco Verratti, Gianluigi Donnarumma and Matthijs de Ligt.